Conquering the world on horseback is easy. The rush of wind, the thunder of hooves, and the endless horizon make it feel as if anything is possible. The Mongolian steppe, vast and untamed, has witnessed countless dreams born in the saddle, where ambition and courage ride side by side. Yet, it is dismounting and governing that is hard. The true test comes not in the heat of conquest but in the quiet moments after, when the dust settles and the world waits to be shaped by steady hands and wise hearts. This insight, often linked to Genghis Khan, is about more than ruling lands. It's about building a legacy that endures. It's about transforming fleeting victories into lasting order, and ensuring that the spirit of a people survives the passing of time. What happens after the great deeds are done? What becomes of the legacy left behind? When the fires of conquest burn low, the real challenge emerges: how to preserve what was won, and how to guide those who inherit it. Genghis Khan united a vast empire, but he knew he couldn't tend it forever. The steppe that once echoed with the sound of his armies would one day fall silent, and the fate of his world would rest in the hands of others. He looked to his children to continue his work, passing down not just land but a vision, a sense of purpose, a code of honor, and the hope that his sons would carry the flame of unity into a new era. Our journey explores how his four sons, Jochi, Chagatai, Ögedei, and Tolui, shaped the fate of the Mongol Empire. Each son, with his own strengths and flaws, faced the daunting task of living up to their father's legend while forging their own paths. Their choices, strengths, and rivalries would determine whether their father's dream survived. The bonds of brotherhood were tested by ambition, loyalty, and the weight of expectation, as the sons struggled to balance unity with their own desires. Through their stories, we glimpse the universal challenge of inheritance and the echoes of their world in our own. The struggle to honor the past while shaping the future is a tale as old as time, and in the winds of the steppe, a father's echo still lingers. Before we meet the children, before we witness the destinies that would shape continents, we must first understand the father, the man whose vision and willpower changed the course of history. Genghis Khan, born as Temujin on the vast, unforgiving Mongolian steppe, was not destined for greatness by birth. His early years were marked by loss, betrayal, and the constant struggle for survival. Yet it was these hardships that forged his unbreakable spirit and relentless determination. As a boy, Temujin learned to read the land, to trust few, and to rely on his own strength. He grew up in a world where loyalty was rare and danger was everywhere, but he never let fear dictate his path. Instead, he transformed adversity into the steel of leadership. Through sheer force of will, he united the warring Mongol tribes, transforming chaos into unity and forging a new identity for his people. Under his leadership, scattered clans became a single, unstoppable force, bound by loyalty and a shared dream. But Genghis Khan's greatest achievement was not just his conquests. He built a society governed by laws, the yasa, that promoted loyalty, justice, and order. These laws brought stability to a world that had known only conflict, and they laid the foundation for a new civilization. Under his rule, the Mongol Empire spread with astonishing speed, stretching from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. The Silk Road, once plagued by bandits and uncertainty, became a safe corridor for merchants, travelers, and the exchange of ideas. East and West were connected as never before. As Genghis Khan grew older, he understood that even the mightiest life must one day end. With wisdom and foresight, he divided his vast empire among his four sons, entrusting each with a part of his vision and a share of his responsibility. Each son received not just land, but a living piece of their father's dream, a legacy of unity, ambition, and hope for the future. The inheritance was more than territory. It was a mission to continue what he had begun. Now the future of the world rested on their shoulders. The fate of empires, the peace of nations, and the dreams of generations would depend on the choices they made. The great gardener had planted the seeds of greatness. It was up to his sons to nurture them, to make the garden of the empire flourish, and to ensure that the roots of his vision would grow deep and strong. Their story, and the choices they made, would become the true test of Genghis Khan's legacy, a legacy that still echoes across the steppes and through the corridors of history. Our story of the sons begins with the eldest, Jochi. Jochi's birth was shrouded in doubt, casting a shadow over his place in the family. Despite this, he proved himself a capable commander, leading Mongol armies westward into Russia and Kazakhstan. Jochi preferred diplomacy over destruction, sometimes clashing with his father's harsher methods. He governed the distant Golden Horde, blending Mongol and local cultures into a unique legacy. Jochi's rule was marked by independence, and his mysterious death in 1227 left questions that lingered. His descendants, especially Batu Khan, expanded the Golden Horde deep into Europe. Jochi's line ruled the western steppe for centuries, shaping a distinct culture. The guest became the founder of a dynasty. Next was Chagatai, the stern guardian of tradition. He was the enforcer of the Yasa, Genghis Khan's law, and saw himself as the protector of Mongol ways. His rigid adherence to law often put him at odds with his brothers, especially Jochi, fueling family conflict. This rivalry led Genghis Khan to bypass both as his successor. Chagatai ruled Central Asia, the Chagatai Khanate, a crossroads of nomadic and settled cultures. His strictness sometimes created friction, especially with the region's Muslim populations. Yet, his rule brought order and unity, helping the Khanate endure for centuries. Chagatai's legacy is complex, divisive, but foundational. He was the iron rod that gave his part of the empire strength and structure. Genghis Khan, the legendary founder of the Mongol Empire, faced a crucial decision as his life drew to a close. Who would inherit his vast and turbulent realm? Among his many sons, he chose his third, Ögedei, not for his prowess in battle, but for his remarkable generosity, diplomatic skill, and unique ability to unite people from all walks of life. Ögedei was known for his open heart and willingness to listen, qualities that set him apart in a family of fierce warriors. When Ögedei ascended the throne as the second great Khan in 1229, he inherited an empire at the height of its power, but also at a crossroads. His reign marked a new era, one focused on consolidating the vast territories his father had conquered and transforming the Mongol world from a loose confederation of tribes into a more structured and enduring state. Under his guidance, the Mongols began to build, not just conquer. One of Ögedei's most significant achievements was the founding of Karakorum, the empire's first permanent capital. This city, rising from the windswept steppe, symbolized a dramatic shift in Mongol society, from a nomadic existence to the beginnings of a settled, organized state. Karakorum became a vibrant center of administration, culture, and trade, drawing people from across Eurasia and reflecting Ögedei's vision of a united empire. To hold his sprawling empire together, Ögedei established the Yam relay system, a sophisticated network of relay stations and mounted couriers that revolutionized communication across the vast Mongol domains. This system allowed messages, orders, and intelligence to travel with unprecedented speed, binding together distant provinces and ensuring the Khan's will could be swiftly enforced from the Pacific to the heart of Europe. Ögedei's leadership style was inclusive and pragmatic. He worked tirelessly to build bridges among his ambitious brothers and powerful generals, often convening grand councils where voices from every corner of the empire could be heard. His ability to mediate disputes and foster cooperation was crucial in maintaining the fragile unity of the Mongol elite. Yet, Ögedei was not without flaws. His love of lavish parties, grand banquets, and especially alcohol became legendary and problematic. These excesses strained the imperial treasury and took a toll on his health, leading to concerns among his advisors about the sustainability of his rule and the future of the empire. In 1241, Ögedei's sudden death sent shockwaves through the empire. The throne was left empty, and the delicate balance he had maintained among the Mongol nobility began to unravel. Old rivalries and ambitions, long kept in check by his authority, resurfaced with new intensity. Without Ögedei's steady hand and unifying presence, the cohesion of the Mongol Empire started to fray. Factions formed, and the once unbreakable bonds between families and generals weakened, threatening the stability of everything Genghis and Ögedei had built. Ögedei had guided the empire through its first major transition, steering it from conquest to governance, from chaos to order. But his passing left a void that no one could easily fill, and the wisdom he brought to the throne became a memory rather than a guiding force. The challenge of unity, once mastered by Ögedei, would haunt the generations that followed, shaping the destiny of the Mongol Empire for years to come. The youngest son, Tolui, was the guardian of the Mongolian heartland. He inherited the ancestral homeland, preserving the core of Mongol tradition. Tolui was a brilliant military commander, crucial in his father's final campaigns. After Genghis Khan's death, Tolui served as regent, supporting Ögedei's rise as Great Khan. His own life was short, ending in a tale of sacrifice. He is said to have given his life to save his brother. Tolui's true legacy was through his children, especially Möngke and Kublai, who would rule the empire's most powerful realms. His wife, Sorgaktani Beki, raised their sons to greatness. Through Tolui's lineage, the Mongol Empire's most influential branches emerged. The Keeper of the Hearth became the father of emperors. The story of Genghis Khan's legacy isn't complete without his daughters. Through daughter diplomacy, he married them to powerful kings, placing Mongol princesses at the heart of allied kingdoms. These women became rulers, governing lands and securing the empire's borders. Their husbands were often sent to war, leaving the daughters in control. The queen daughters managed territories, maintained stability, and protected trade routes. They were the unseen weavers, anchoring the empire with diplomacy and skill. Their power was quiet but essential, proving that empires are built by more than just warriors. For a time, Genghis Khan's system worked. His sons cooperated and the empire thrived. The Yam network and the Great Kurultai kept the family united. But after Ögedei's death, old rivalries resurfaced, and the empire began to fracture. The vastness that was once a strength became a weakness as Khanates drifted apart. The Toluid civil war between Kublai and Arik Bok shattered unity. The empire split into four: the Ilkhanate, Golden Horde, Chagatai Khanate, and Yuan Dynasty. The dream of a single, unified Mongol world was over. The children of Genghis Khan had inherited the world, but could not hold it together. Why does the story of Genghis Khan's children matter today? Their tale is a timeless lesson about family, responsibility, and the challenge of inheritance. Like any family business, unity brought success, but rivalry led to division. Their legacy shaped the modern world, connecting continents, spreading ideas, and redrawing borders. The Mongol Empire's rise and fall mirrors patterns we see in families and societies everywhere. When people work together, they achieve greatness. When they focus on differences, even the strongest empires can fall. The story invites us to reflect on our own choices and the legacies we leave behind. The echoes of their world remind us that our decisions can ripple through time.